Moving on, we're going to take a look at some Spanish La Liga action, and I'm talking about Aybar taking on Athletic Bilbao, 1:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Athletics the plus money favorite at plus 145, Aybar's plus 220. The draw's plus $2, and the total's 2 goals, juice to the under. Aybar is coming fresh off a 3-1 loss to Real Madrid. No real shocker there. They are currently on a 3-match losing streak, though, and have only won 1 match out of their last 9 outings. Aybar is currently in 16th place out of 20 teams in Spanish La Liga. They also rank 15th in total goals scored. They're averaging just 1.03 goals per contest thus far in the season. They're taking on an Athletic team who lost just 1 out of their last 4, and that includes a solid 1-0 shutout victory over Villarreal. They also beat Valladolid handily 4-1 during that span as well. Athletic is 9-8 thus far in the season with 11 draws. They also rank 3rd in total goals allowed. They're giving up just 0.85 goals per contest on average thus far for the season. Now, total-wise, just 1 out of Athletic's last 5 actually stayed under the total of 2 goals. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, we're looking at an Aybar team who saw their last 6 straight get over that number themselves. Matter of fact, just 1 out of their last 11 stayed under that total. So with all that said and done, give me Athletic Bilbao plus 145 and the over 2 goals in that contest. Next matchup, it is going to be Real Valladolid taking on Celta Vigo, 1:30 p.m. Eastern start time. Celta Vigo's the plus money favorite at plus $1.70, Valladolid's plus 195. The total's 2 goals, juice to the over, and the draw is plus $1.90. Celta's lost just 1 out of their last 6. They beat the likes of Leganes 1-0 and Sevilla 2-1. They've held their opponents scoreless in 4 out of their last 8 as well. They rank 8th in total goals allowed. They're giving up just 1.25 goals per contest on the season. Now, Valladolid, on the other side of things, they've dropped 2 out of their last 3, including an embarrassing 4-1 loss to Athletic during that stretch. They were also shut out 1-0 by Real Society during that short span as well. They've been victorious in just 7 out of 28 matches thus far in the season. They also rank 17th out of 20 teams in total goals scored. And as a matter of fact, they're averaging just 0.89 goals per contest, under 1 goal a game. Now, total-wise, oddly enough, Valladolid's last 2 straight got over the total of 2 goals. Just 3 out of their last 9 actually stayed under that number. Give me Celta Vigo plus $1.70 and the over 2 goals in that contest. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Osasuna taking on Atletico Madrid, 4 p.m. Eastern start time. Madrid's the $1.20 favorite, Osasuna's plus 380. The draw is plus 225, and the total's 2 goals, juice to the under. Osasuna's been victorious in just 2 out of their last 8, and that includes a tough 3-0 shutout loss to Granada during that span. Osasuna's won just 8 out of 28 total matches on the season and is currently in the bottom half of the standings in 11th place. Atletico, on the other side, hasn't lost a match in their last 8 outings, including a 1-0 shutout win over Granada during that span. They also beat the likes of Villarreal along with Liverpool in non-league competition. Atletico Madrid is tied for 5th place in the standings and find themselves just 1 point behind Real Society for that 4th place spot. Now, total-wise, just 1 out of Atletico's last 7 actually stayed under the total of 2.5 goals. Meanwhile, on the other side, we're looking at their opponents who saw just 2 out of their last 10 stay under that number themselves. Give me Atletico Madrid minus 120 and the over 2 goals in that contest. All right, we're going to slide into some English Premier League action, and we're going to talk about Aston Villa taking on Sheffield United, 1 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Sheffield's the plus money favorite at plus $1.25. Aston's plus 230. The draw is plus 225, and the total's 2.5 juice to the under. Now, Aston went into quarantine losing their previous 5 straight games, including a humiliating 4-0 shutout loss to Leicester City. They were also shut out by Southampton 2-0 during that 5-game skid as well. Aston is currently in second to last place out of 20 teams in the EPL. They've been victorious in just 5 out of 29 contests and ranked 19th in total goals scored. They're averaging just 1.21 goals per contest thus far in the season. They're taking on a Sheffield club who hadn't lost a match in their previous 6 straight before heading into quarantine themselves. And as a matter of fact, Sheffield's lost just 1 out of their last 10, with shutout victories over the likes of Norwich City, Crystal Palace, and West Ham United, just to name a few. Now we're looking at a Sheffield United team who is currently tied for 6th place in the league and find themselves just 5 points behind 4th place Chelsea. Sheffield's also played terrific defensively, ranking 2nd in the league in total goals allowed. They're giving up just 0.89 goals per contest on average thus far in the season. Now, total-wise, oddly enough, 2 out of Sheffield's last 4 did get over the total of 2.5 goals. Meanwhile, on the Aston side of things, they saw their last 2 straight get over that number themselves. They also saw 7 out of their last 9 get over the 2.5. So with all that said and done, give me Sheffield plus $1.25 and the over 2.5 in that match. All right, next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Manchester City taking on Arsenal in a 3:15 p.m. Eastern start time. Manchester City's the hefty $3 favorite. Arsenal's plus 750. The total's 3.5, and the draw's plus 425. Now, Arsenal went into quarantine off a nice 1-0 shutout victory over West Ham United. Matter of fact, they went into the shutdown on a nice little 2-match win streak, including a 2-0 shutout over Portsmouth in non-league competition as well. Arsenal's lost just 1 out of their last 13 and garnered shutout victories against the likes of Leeds United, Newcastle United, and Olympiacos, just to name a few. They're just 5 points behind Manchester United in the standings for 5th place. They also rank 7th in total goals allowed. They're giving up only 1.28 goals per contest. Now, when it comes to the scoring in this one, Arsenal's last 3 straight stayed under the total of 3.5 goals. Meanwhile, 14 out of their last 17 also stayed under that total. Meanwhile, on the Manchester City side, they saw their last 8 straight stay under the total of 3.5 goals themselves. So with all that said and done, give me the draw at plus 425. We're going to take a shot in the under 3.5 goals in that contest.